Galactic greetings to thee. It is I, your ever so humble host of the Star Wars Geeks podcast, David Gramillion, here with another week of Clone Wars episodes that I've seen via less than, ethical means. But apparently that's not going to be an issue much longer now, is it? Because if you haven't heard the news already, the Clone Wars, all of it, will be on Netflix starting March the 7th. Oh boy. Now, this is a deal we knew that was coming. Disney and Netflix had signed a deal previously. We just didn't know the details. We didn't know how much it cost. We didn't know when. We didn't know what. We didn't know how much. If you have Netflix, you've already seen some Disney content getting on there. There's been The Adventures of Robin Hood and Cinderella, and there have been a couple of movies that have come on. But this is the first Star Wars content that we've seen come our way, which is really good news because it's Netflix, which according to them, like they have 44 million customers on like 40 different countries, and it's all over the place. I think I read somewhere that at one point in the U.S. it takes up like 25 to 30% of our bandwidth is on Netflix. This is only good. This is a wonderful thing, especially if you're an investor, because the stock has shot up, both Netflix and Disney. It's just good news for everybody. Also means that I get to start watching the Clone Wars on Netflix itself. So if you've tuned in here, you've tuned in to see what I wanted to know about. I'm still in season 1. Dooku Captured and the Gungan General. This is a little 2-episode arc, as it were. It's okay, mostly. A few hits and misses, like most episodes. So we're gonna go through them just briefly here. The first episode, Dooku Captured. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, seriously. Apparently, Anakin dueled Dooku, and he got captured. He didn't have a saber, and somehow Obi-Wan knew where he was because he flew over to this one ship sitting out in the middle of nowhere, and he knew where Anakin was. I swear to God, I have my wife will attest to this. I stopped the episode twice because I swear it's like I must have skipped one. I don't know how, but I must have skipped it. So I went down the list. No, I didn't. I didn't skip one. So I checked Wikipedia because maybe this list is out of order, right? No, I didn't miss one. I don't know what happened, but it's literally like jumping into the middle of the season. I don't know how it happened, but there it was, and that was confusing as hell. I don't know how Obi-Wan knew where to find Anakin. There's one ship out in the middle of the galaxy, and he just happened to know where it was. And he frees Anakin, and I kid you not, the first place they go, there's Count Dooku. I don't know how they knew where to find him either. I mean, it's a big ship. It's a big giant cruiser, right? So how did they know where the Count? I mean, it's the first place they go. It's not like they try different hallways or different levels of the ship. No, boom, he's right there. I understand we need to move the action along, but come on, really? Okay, so Dooku, of course, escapes from the Jedi and gets away with at least Anakin's lightsaber. They pursue him to a moon, or at least I think it's a moon or some type of planet or something, and they follow him into a cave. And Dooku uses the cave. Of course, it's a trap, and these giant rocks come down, and Dooku makes escape out the cave, where he runs into a bunch of pirates. Now, this is one of the good parts because Hondo is awesome. He is hilarious. He is cunning. He is devious. He's witty. He's got a good voice. He is awesome. I heartily approve. Something else that I really approved of was Obi-Wan's witty banter with Anakin. I thought was great. There's a part where one of the witty banter scenes is Anakin complaining that he's not a Jedi Master. And Obi-Wan says, well, you seem to be a master of this and a master of that. And Anakin says, yeah, but I need to be a Jedi Master. And Obi-Wan says, well, at least you're a master of getting caught. Insert, drum, boom. Okay, that was cute. But it goes back and forth, and that's the kind of friendship that we needed to see in episode 2 and episode 3 that we never really saw. Which, of course, leave it up to the EU to fill in the blanks that George left, but this is the friends that I've been looking for. So that was really good. So Dooku finds these pirates, and he is kind of in a bind. His ship is wrecked. He's got Jedi behind him. He doesn't know if the Republic's on their way or not, or what's going on. Who's going to get to him first? So he needs to get off that rock as soon as he can. So he doesn't do what a lot of video game characters would do. A lot of gamers, particularly like on the Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic, you take this choice and you're like, hey, I'm going to kill all the pirates. I'm going to force lightning and choke and swing my saber around and all sorts of fun stuff. And then I'll take the ship myself. Now, Dooku doesn't do that. Yeah, he's a Sith Lord, but he's not stupid. So he makes nice with them. Says, yes, you'll be well compensated, no problem. Take me wherever you like. No big deal. Which I thought was refreshing, to say the least. Then they land at where Hondo's home base is, and they get off the ship, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dooku has lost the sabers, and Hondo, I guess, pickpocketed him or something. Which, pickpocketing a Sith Lord, I don't... So this is the point where I started to think, okay, maybe he's doing this on purpose. He wants to learn more about them. He wants to lure the Jedi there. I don't know, but surely Count Dooku can't be that stupid. Please don't let a villain be stupid. Okay. Let's see, what else do I have in my notes down here? Okay, yeah. So, of course, they have to... Hondo sends the ransom demand not to the Separatists, but over to the Republic, because he figures the Republic, rightly so, is going to pay more for Count Dooku. But he has to prove that he has Count Dooku, so it's just hard to do over a hologram. So Padme suggests that they send 2 Jedi to verify that he really has Count Dooku, and if he does, then great, we'll send the ransom along. To which, again, I'm beating my head against a wall. You're only sending 2 Jedi? But Ahsoka freed Anakin and Obi-Wan, but yet she's missing for the rest of the arc. What happened to her? What happened to Plo Koon? Plo Koon was just there. Kit Fisto was just with them. Where'd all these Jedi go? Why don't you send a dozen Jedi to find out? They said that they couldn't take... well, I know, you're saying, well, what if it's really not Dooku and you sent a dozen Jedi off on a wild bantha chase? Which is fine, except that they admitted they can't take the chance. They have to be sure. Otherwise, there's no point in paying the ransom at all. There's no point in even thinking about it. So, if you're going to... On the off chance that you're right and this is Dooku, you send a bunch of Jedi. You got 15,000 of them sitting around. Send 12. What's Yoda doing? Meditating? Him, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, and like 3 Padawans. Just send 6 Jedi. That's it. Just 6. The Council will get by for a few days without those guys. But instead, they send just Anakin and Obi-Wan, who make the confirmation and say, yes, this really is Count Dooku. So Palpatine, in his infinite wisdom, decides to send 2 senatorial representatives, one being Senator Karras, who we never get to know, and the other one is Jar Jar Binks. Okay, I'm confused at this point because Padme made Jar Jar a senator during Attack of the Clones so that she could slip away to Naboo to have, to wear backless dresses and seduce Anakin, but not really seduce Anakin because she's a senator, but wear a black leather shoulderless corset at the same time. So why is Jar Jar a representative now that Padme's back? I I don't follow that logic at all. I mean, he was an assistant before. Now he's a representative, but Padme's a senator. So did he get elected, or are there more than one position? We never really get to know. So for some strange reason, the Jedi are like, "You got Count Dooku. That's great. We won't send any more Jedi to get him. And we know he's there, and we really want him here. But you know what? Yeah, no problem. Send Jar Jar. I'm sure he's perfect. I mean, we could send 100 Jedi. I mean, we got them all over the place. But no, Jar Jar's good. Yeah, no problem there. Common sense, I swear, it's the biggest problem with the prequels, and the Clone Wars is clearly no exception to the rule. Overall, I mean, it was a good episode. I like how at the end of the episode they're having a big banquet. Hondo's having this big banquet, and he slips a little bit of this powdery substance into Anakin and Obi-Wan's drink, and they get the drink, and they immediately know that there's something wrong, right? I mean, they're not stupid, unlike Dooku, but whatever. And so they use the Force as they're toasting, right, to swap drinks with the guys next to them, which I thought was hilarious. And they drink the drink, and everyone has a good time, and the episode ends. And then we get to the Gungan General, which is the next episode. Wait, I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, this guy? Oh, this. Oh, yeah. This is the new addition to my little collection here. I like this little guy. I saw him at a comic book store when I was picking up the variant series, or whatever you want to call it, the new comics that have come out for Star Wars. This is R2B1. He is a relic of the 2013 San Diego Comic-Con. He is number 526 out of 1,500. I saw him. I just had to have him. So in the future, you'll be seeing him back there. Now, if you subscribe to us, to our little exclusive insider newsletter, you already knew that, because I let that slip out sometime, I think Monday or Tuesday or Saturday or somewhere around there. So you knew days in advance. If you don't know what we're talking about, you got to go to the Facebook page. Links are down in the description. And subscribe. Just put in your email address, and what happens is we send you an email with insider knowledge of the show. You get days before anybody else. Like you get to know about this guy. Like you get to know about breaking news ahead of anybody else before we post it on Facebook or on Twitter. Which, follow us on Twitter. But subscribe on the email. You get a little email sent right to you. You get to know all the facts and all the details days before anybody else. Or at the very least hours, depending on how the news breaks. Anywho, so the Gungan General, the episode starts with Anakin and Obi-Wan passed out in a jail cell. But they swap the drinks with the guys next to them. We even see the guys next to them passing out because of the drugs. So how did Anakin and Obi-Wan, how were they affected? I don't know. I don't... So they're passed out on the floor, and they're shackled to Count Dooku. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, clearly Hondo underestimated these guys because they're Jedi. So they're just going to use the Force, snap, there we go, all done, and they're going to escape. Which they never do. They use the Force all throughout the episode. They open doors, they move knives around, they do all sorts of stuff with the Force, but they never use them to break the shackles. I don't know if they're like Force-resistant shackles or something. I don't even know if that's a thing. We're never told. We're never told what these shackles are. So I just have to assume that for some reason, a Sith Lord and 2 trained Jedi can't get out of their shackles because of the writer said so? I guess? I don't know. So Jar Jar is on the way with Senator Karras, and Jar Jar inadvertently helps to crash the ship and get the senator killed, which I guess I would care if I knew who the senator was, but we never got to meet him. I don't think he had more than like 2 lines anyway, so whatever. So the pirates come after them because they want to kill any survivors that have landed, or, crash landed. And they're circling them on these like speeder bikes. If you've seen the 2003 series, it's basically the speeder bikes, and they're circling them and they're shooting at these 4 or 5 guys out in the open. They're not on the ground. They're standing upright, blaster rifles, the whole 9 yards, and the pirates can't hit them. They're shooting all around them. They're shooting on the ground. They're shooting in the air. At least kill 1 or 2 clones so that the danger's real. I have to feel like they're in real danger, and you can't do that if their shots are worse than the battle droids. I mean, it was embarrassing. It was enough for me to make a comment on. But once again, Hondo stole the show. That is a truly memorable character. He's a guy that stays with you. He's quotable. You want to use that accent that he has, even though I can't do it very well. He kind of reminds me a lot of Don Carnage in Tailspin. If you saw the Tailspin series in the 90s, first of all, you go. Secondly, you know what I'm talking about. This guy was so quotable, and he had this attitude, and he's Hondo, only he's a fox, and he has this big airship and air pirates. And anyway, so Hondo steals the show. I'm real glad I got to see 2 episodes now with him in it. Very well done. He's hilarious. I also got to notice something. The landscapes, the environment that the animators drew up is really good stuff. It's not something that you would notice right away, but the more I got to look at it, the more I could really appreciate the terrain and the landscape and the trees and the rocks and the animals. And it's not just this one episode. It's so far all these episodes. I've just, didn't really manage to comment on it because I wanted to wait a few episodes in to see if it stayed consistent. So far it has. So good on them for that. And I will give credit where credit's due. Jar Jar had a pretty good idea. So they're able to escape the pirates. The pirates take off with the ransom, and they have to chase them down and get the ransom back. And Jar Jar finds these animals. I'm not sure how to describe them. They're giant animals you can ride. Really, I don't know how to describe them. But they move really fast, and Jar Jar comes up with the idea that they can ride these things really fast and catch up to the pirates. The pirates had quite a lead on them, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. But Jar Jar had a pretty good idea. They had no way of catching up to these pirates. They had no way of getting to them at all. They had no ship, no shuttle, no speeder bikes, nothing. And Jar Jar came up with a pretty good idea. So good on Jar Jar for that. All in all, it was an okay episode. I was waiting for Dooku to have like a double cross plan, but he never did. He was as much a victim for some reason as Obi-Wan and Anakin were, which stuns the hell out of me. Here you are, you're a Sith Lord. I mean, at any point you can just raise your hands up and fry people. But he was completely fine being a prisoner. He had no problems, losing his lightsabers. Okay, I guess. He was actually mostly useless in the episode, except for drawing the Republic forces there, which still befuddles me even now. But what are you going to do? But all in all, it's okay. Not bad. Mostly good. Looking forward to the next episodes. Since this is Valentine's Day officially, and my wife is starting to glare at me because I'm supposed to, spend Valentine's Day with the wife would actually be a good idea. I have a top 10 that I'd like to go ahead and unveil here. I did it on the show on Monday, so if you've already seen it, then, well, listen to it again. Stick around. I mean, it's all good. It's a top 10 Star Wars Valentine's Day gifts for him and for her, which for her took a lot of thought because, what do you get a girl for Valentine's Day anyway besides flowers and candy, which, let's see, I think I got her flowers and candy. So, all right, good news. Number 10, for her, a pink lightsaber. I know not all girls like pink, so a lightsaber color of her choice, but let's face it, pink is pretty feminine, it's pretty girly, and, she could get it and light it up, and Oh, it's the cutest thing ever. Mm. Number 9. A drink beer soda droid. Not like a protocol droid that shuffles around because that's going to shake it up, make things fizzy. I mean like an astromech, only, in his head, right, instead of the little lens there, you got a little spot where you can where he'll dispense a bottle of name your liquid here, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Why not? I mean, he's your droid, so whatever works. That'd be really cool to have around. Number 8, for her, a Slave Leia bikini cosplay set. As authentic as it can be, as comfortable as it can be. I was at Celebration 6 in Orlando. There had to have been at least 100 of those girls walking around. And who can blame them? I mean, if you got it, if you can pull that look off, pull that look off. If you're comfortable pulling that look off, pull the look off. I mean, go for it. Knock yourself out. So if the guy gets it for you, I mean, that's a traditional Valentine's Day gift, is some sort of lingerie, some type of outfit that is a little risque. Get a little Star Wars theme, a little Slave Leia bikini action for you. Number 6, I'm sorry, number 7. The number 7 Star Wars Valentine's Day gift for him and for her. This one's for him. And that would be your woman wearing the Slave Leia bikini cosplay set. I think that goes without saying. I'll just leave that there. Number 5. I'm skipping again. Look, can you believe this? I'm skipping. Number 6. Han Solo. For her, transported from 1977 right in your living room. I mean, Harrison Ford today, not so much, unless you're into that sort of thing, at which point knock yourself out. Even Harrison Ford in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, not so much, but Harrison Ford from 1977, yeah, ladies will take that one. Number 5, and this one's for him, that would be Natalie Portman, magically transported from pretty much any time. Black Swan Natalie Portman, Phantom Menace Natalie Portman, V for Vendetta Natalie Portman. You can pretty much take your pick of Natalie Portman's and boom, that'll work. Number 4, this one will be for her, and that's Padme's wardrobe, shoes included. That's something a lot of girls comment on, is how gorgeous the dresses that she had, how awesome the outfits that she had. Ladies, go for it. You even get the shoes, because shoes for some reason are strangely important to girls. So I think I own like 4 pairs total, and that includes my dress shoes. But hey, women, knock yourself out. Number 3, the number 3 Star Wars Valentine's Day gift for him and for her. Number 3 is your choice of any lightsaber prop from the movies. And I don't mean a replica. I mean the actual lightsaber prop. Anakin, Vader, Obi-Wan, Luke, Yoda, Palpatine. It doesn't matter to me. Mace Windu, take your pick. Any movie, you get a lightsaber, and it's the actual one that was held by the actor. That would be awesome. You would love your girl forever if she managed to get you that one. Nothing. I mean, you should be loving her forever anyway, but yeah, you'd love her forever. Number 2. This one's for her, and that is a life-size Han Solo in carbonite. So we're talking, the actual life-size thing. You see them like for coffee tables and desks. Yeah, this one is made out of chocolate. You're welcome, ladies. And the number 1 Star Wars Valentine's Day gift for him and for her, a weekend at Skywalker Ranch. I understand it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, it's picturesque, it's nestled into California. Kevin Smith got married there. He just raved about it. You get to hang out with George Lucas. You get to view the property. There's a recording studio there. Of course, there's all sorts of stuff from the movies there, from all of his movies there. And you get a weekend to just sit back, relax, be with the one that you love at Skywalker Ranch. So, just remember that it's Valentine's Day for everyone. So if you've got a mother, you got a grandmother, you got an aunt, it's Valentine's Day for everyone. Give them a call, shoot them a text, shoot them a tweet, whatever you like to do, and just wish them all a very, very happy Valentine's Day. We'll see y'all on Monday night. Lots of news to get to again. Clone Wars news exploding, Rebels news exploding, all sorts of news just all over the place. And we're going to be on top of it. I mean, that's what we do. We bring you the news, whether you like it or not. And we make it fun too. So we'll see y'all on Monday night, 8 o'clock Central Time at channel1138.com. In the meantime, stay geeky.